Hi, this is Marlene, Astrologer Extraordinaire. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've been shuffling the cards and I've been wanting to talk a little bit about some of the updates that I have been seeing. This deck right here, I'm looking at the Kipper deck. That one right there has the false person card in it, and that false person has another person behind it. This Kipper deck has a false person in it too. That one is singular. There's not a second person in the card. So if you want to check to see if there's two people in that scenario, this is the deck you want to use, because you won't be able to tell that with that deck, okay? I wanted to talk about some of the cards I've been seeing coming up lately, because I have been seeing some changes. There's a difference in the energy for sure. Now, I just decided to take this deck out, and I was going to shuffle them and see what comes out, and right away on the split. So that's why I decided to flip on the camera. What do I get? Adjudication, card number 30. Like that card. Oh, and imprisonment. Now it came out upside down and it's 29, but I always find that interesting when the cards are in succession. Now I have been seeing this card come out. I'm thinking that, wow, and again, so this is what I flipped. Imprisonment and ill. So somebody around you, and this may or may not be somebody that's in your life right now. It could have been somebody that you let go of some time ago, but or maybe just recently. So the bad health card came up with that. So somebody has definitely not been in good health, and I've been seeing that for a while too. This person that I'm referring to has a lot of addictions. I mean, alcohol, drugs, but you simply can't continue a lifestyle with massive alcoholism and not eventually end up there, whether you're 40, 50, 60, 70. I'm a product of two alcoholic parents. My father was one that was really, I didn't see him for how many years? 22 years. I was the one that sought him out later in life when I was 34. He still was on that path. When you start to get up in your years, your body just, can only take so much abuse. So this is what I wanted to look at. I had been seeing less of that card and more of the imprisonment card. So, but just now, that popped up again. Maybe somebody did a brief stint in prison. Maybe they're out again. Maybe they're at it again. Lover's card, that's upside down. So a lover could be just, a really good friend. So we don't know that until we see other cards coming out. Coffin. Something is definitely over. Something is definitely finished. Courthouse. And we have marriage card upside down. So there is a marriage and or partnership that I have been seeing is on the rocks. We have main male. A lot of times that's kind of the significator of the emperor. And then we have the mature woman upside down. I see this card very similar to the Empress, except an older, mature woman. Now, it could potentially be a younger woman that's very mature. Most of the time, it's an older woman. Now, she appears upside down in here. What I'm getting is that person is no longer associated with this person, but that person is still thinking of that person. Change, sideways. So that's generally indicative of a move, where somebody wants to move. Maybe they can't right now. Maybe they don't have the funds to. Maybe they haven't found the right place. Maybe they're not sure where they want to move to. And or, of course, it's a significator of a vehicle. Check up on your vehicle, or maybe you might have some things going awry, or maybe you just need some maintenance on your vehicle. Spare. And that just now flipped out, card number 32. This is somebody in your past who's definitely in despair. There is somebody that wants to be in communication with you. Poverty, number 37. So not getting that that's you, I'm getting that that is somebody around you, a past person that is maybe going through some financial hardships, could possibly be from all of the karma, all of the nasty things that they did to you. And if they're not living in that state, their mental thoughts are there continuously, is what I'm getting. I'm going to talk about this card again, as I have mentioned that one before, the false person card and the community card, because these two cards are involved together. Because had it not been for this duo right here, then this community would not have ever sprung up from it. I'm going to mention that I see the red hair, I see the red dress. This person to me is definitely fire sign. Now, that doesn't mean sun sign. I'm talking about personal planets. When I say personal planets, I mean from the rising sign out through Jupiter. Okay, so Sag, Leo, Aries. I continuously get that this person is a fire sign. Let's talk about that person back there, because that person is the one that got all of this whole thing started, because without him, she wouldn't know who you are. She wouldn't know your page. If you have a channel like I do, and do have a channel, it'd be much bigger than mine, because mine is small. That doesn't mean I'm not being watched. I know I am. So, but that person then, of course, knew where you lived, maybe knew your phone number, maybe had access to your pages, maybe got into your accounts because of that nasty person there. Now let's talk a little bit about that person, okay? I want to go into a little detail about that person. Once they had a change in their life circumstances, I'm not going to say what that is. If you want to know what that is, you can backtrack onto one of my other videos, where I felt that there was going to be a significant change in that person's attitude. Now, if you can relate to that, or you had a circumstance in your life where that person that I'm talking about went into some sort of change and outwardly you saw the repercussions, please let me know in the comments. This is when that person became extremely full of himself. Now, if you need to reverse the roles, please do that. This point became, I'm smarter than everyone else. I can just step over anybody and everybody. I have no problem throwing anyone under the bus. I have no problem trampling over anybody to get what I want, because it's not about you. It's all about me. That's that individual right there. That person has no remorse for their actions, no guilt for their actions. They just keep on stampeding their way through life, thinking that there's not ever going to be any repercussions. That person works in tandem with that person, but that person is married to that person, or if not on paper, definitely in assets. Here's another humdinger. That person there has another person like that they're really strapped into by assets, maybe married. So not only does that person have a couple people that play that role that are somewhat, say, a permanent attachment to their lifestyle. So, you know, they get a little bit mad at that person, oh, you know, then they're going to go over to the other person and hang out with that person, and kind of pins that one against the other, does that back and forth, so that that's always an excuse to, well, this person isn't acting accordingly to that person's standards, then I'm going to go hang out with the other one, and vice versa. So I believe that person knows about the other woman. However, that person also knows about you. And that person thinks You may still be a contender, even though you're not. And that person doesn't know that you, more than likely, have no desire, no intention of getting back with that person. But this person doesn't know that and feels a little bit threatened by that. However, because this person here, their narcissistic attributes, whether they are sociopathic attributes or psychopathic attributes, these are 5 dangerous personality types, and this is by Joe Navarro. Back to these culprits, because now some of these people here have begun to understand the workings a little bit more of that person right there. Some of these people in this community are no longer believing that person. Some of the people in that community have come to see over time, and I know it's hard and unfortunate for those of us that maybe have not only gone months, but I mean years. We've been affected in some fashion by what this duo and or this group of people has done. Only time can heal those things. People are starting to see that why is it that this person here, stories that come out, that person is always the victim. Why is it that that person has turned over so many jobs, cannot maintain one job because it's always the boss or a coworker or somebody is out to get them. In relationships, it's always the other person is at fault. I'm the victim. That person did this to me, and on and on and on. But now you're not in that picture. So some of these people in this community of saying all of that is floated to the surface now. I know what this person is made of. I don't believe that person anymore. Some of those people have begun to filter out. In the meantime, this person here still thinks about you. Now, this person has a really tough exterior, but that's all it is a tough exterior. It's fake. That person is weak. They show a really solid poker face. That person does not reveal or show on the outside that they're very unhappy in this relationship. They want out of that relationship. Their life is filled with anguish. Yet they have this show on the outside to all of their friends, even to this person, even to some of these people here, that, oh no, everything in my life is great. I'm in a wonderful relationship. It couldn't be better. Nothing could be further from the truth. That person is in misery. That person is in the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords consistently. They can't get out of their mind what they've done to you. They don't have any remorse for it, because this person never has remorse for what they've done. The only reason they feel sad is because they weren't successful in trapping you, or their ability to keep you as their pawn or their pawnette for, let's just say, indefinitely, because that person still doesn't believe that you don't want to be around them. No, they really want me. There's still a sliver of hope. That person is just, they're playing hard to get because I played hard to get. That person wants to talk to you. That person is trying to figure out a way because they are churning so much inside that they can't take it. It's really taking a toll on their health. That's why we're seeing the sick bed card come up a lot. I wanted you in the exact mental anguish that they are experiencing right now. All of those people in that community can see that you're not there, that you're not even a part of that person's life, and you haven't been a part of that person's life. All of those Ponzi schemes or whatever kind of thievery this ring, because this is a ring of people, was involved with, that person may be doing some time now. The word blackmail has come into play. And I believe this person here says, you know, well, I've known this person for a long time. I've got dirt on this person. So if he thinks he or she is going to file for divorce, well, I've got stuff hanging over this person's head. I might just pull this card. I might just pull that one. Let's see if that person is going to think twice about what kind of tricks I have up my sleeve now. Because this person thought he could trust this person, but now that person has lost faith in this person. I was supposed to be your partner in crime, but you've done dirty on me. So that game can be played in two ways. I hope that provides some clarity. And if you do have any comments, your particular situation, I would love to hear them. All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.